Hey guys, it's been a while. Today we're going to do a 1.6 to 1.8 swap in a Mazda Miata. This is the 1.8 engine the customer dropped off, and over there the customer also dropped off a lot of other parts for his car. So we're going to install a new radiator, we're going to give the engine a complete overhaul and a lot of other things. So what we're going to do, first I'm going to install a new timing belt, then also all these seals, of course, a new water pump. And once that's done, we're going to focus on the things that you need to do for a 1.8 swap. The coil pack on the rear, it needs to be adjusted. The 1.6 throttle body needs to be installed. The 1.8 injectors will be installed with a 1.6 wiring harness.
When working on an engine that you're going to swap in, please make sure that just like now, you're doing all of the work when the engine is out of the car. Now it's on a perfect working height. I can easily access all of the bolts, and a timing belt job like this probably only takes like half an hour to an hour instead of 5 when you have the engine in the car. The pulley, as you can see, can be a bit stuck, so I'm using a puller. And to remove the crank bolt without any air tools, because the MX-5s, you're just better off with doing it by hand. You can use the special tool that I made that allows you to lock the crank and by hand remove the crank bolt and later on tighten it to spec with the special tool. Make sure that the timing marks align. Then once you're 100% sure that they align, you can remove the timing belt. So remove the tensioner pulley, the idler pulley, and then the timing belt itself. Next up, since this engine is getting a complete overhaul, I'm also removing the cam gears, the cover. That way I can remove and install new seals. And we'll be doing the exact same thing for the crank seal, front and rear. Because like I said, the engine is out, you can better do it now than later on once it's in the car. When installing new cam seals or any seal, loop them up, that way assembly is a lot easier and you make sure that nothing gets damaged. Then I'm tightening the cam gears to spec again by hand, not with an air tool. It's a lot safer and better for the components. The tensioner spring can be a bit tricky, but be patient.
The cam seals are installed, the crank seal is installed, a new water pump is on there, the timing belt is installed, 19 teeth in between on the top. That's really important to check. All of the timing marks align, so now we can close up the front, just like we did when removing everything, and then we can move on to the next thing.
Read carefully, tighten by hand. That's what like 95% of the people tend to, just use tools, and then next time, good luck with getting it off.
The engine over here is completely serviced right now. It just needs new oil, but I'll do that once it's in the car. Now for the 1.8 swap, I'll need to remove the coil pack out of the 1.6. Need to adjust the bracket, that way it will fit on the 1.8 engine. And we also need to install the 1.6 throttle body. The customer supplied an adapter for it. It's a bit ghetto, but it'll probably work. And last but not least, we need the injector harness and the entire harness on the engine from the 1.6. It looks like someone went really to town with an angle grinder and a drill. Holy hell. It's not the best looking adapter plate, but I must say, now that it's installed, it looks kinda okay. It's not as bad as I thought it would, but it definitely doesn't look pretty. But the 1.6 throttle body is on there, so next up is the coil pack on the back.
The main difference on the 1.6 and 1.8 coil brackets is that the 1.6 is bolted down from the top and the 1.8 one needs to be bolted down horizontally. So I need to make some adjustments that it's more narrow, that way it fits, And the other thing is, to bolt it down, we need to make 2 taps, weld them on there, and then you're already good to go.
I almost forgot how easy it is to take these engines out. It's a lot easier than on the modern cars where you need to remove so much stuff. But on the MX-5s it's super easy and a lot more fun because you can access stuff a lot better. For now, the 1.6 is out. What I need to do, I need to remove the flywheel because the customer wants the 1.6 flywheel on the 1.8 engine with a 1.6 clutch, of course. An easy sign if your engine is 1.6 or 1.8 is this sensor over here. And what the sensor is doing, this is a thermostatic switch, so once it heats up, it opens a circuit and then your fans will start blowing. The 1.8 doesn't have it because it's ECU controlled, so this one needs to go on the 1.8 neck, and the problem is, this one's located like this, and on a 1.8 engine, it's on the front. So what I'll be doing, chopping this one off, so that I'm going to chop the threads off, and then weld it on the 1.6 one. Aluminum, you really need to clean everything very thoroughly and have nice quality aluminum. Cast always has contaminants in it, so the welds will never look that good with brand new aluminum. But of course, we'll do our best to make it look as pretty as possible. I've set the amps to 140 on max. I've got a foot pedal so I can control everything. I put the frequency a bit higher, that way the arc is a lot more narrow. And yeah, let's fix this thing on there and then start welding. The thread is on there, welded on there, and like I said, this stuff absolutely welds like crap. I could literally smell all of the coolant, which was in the porous material, coming out. So yeah, then it always welds like crap. The same goes for oil sumps. They are absolutely horrible to weld. And let me quickly show you the difference how new aluminum welds and this crap aluminum. So the crap one you've just seen, and now let me grab a quick sheet of aluminum and then do some dabs, and then you can see difference. It's night and day. So yeah, both welds compared, and as you can see on the clean one it looks way better, and that's because the arc is super unstable on here, because all of the crap is exploding, it's coming out of there, and on this stuff it's brand new, it's super clean to weld. So I found out that on the 1.8 downpipe that it's a bit lower. So that means that it's touching the panels and that can cause a fire. So I removed one of the trays underneath and now it isn't touching anything. There are no leaks, and what's great about it, first startup, it started immediately. That normally doesn't happen, but this time it did. So it's very nice. So now I'm going to take it for a test spin and then see if everything is still fine. If so, the customer can go pick it up. So there we have it, the finished product. Just need to install that part which is laying on the floor because I need to check some things. But the oil level is fine, the coolant level is fine. Took it for a test spin. The engine is really rev happy with the light 1.6 flywheel, so that's pretty awesome. Didn't expect it to drive that good. And it's a fun little car, and which is really awesome. First try, turning the key, the engine fired up immediately. The lifter tick was super bad, but the engine has been sitting for like 1 year. So after having it idle for 5 minutes, the oil gets a bit warm, a bit thinner. The lifter started to fill up with oil. And then after like 2 minutes, it was getting more quiet. And after 5 minutes, it was completely like it's supposed to be. Instagram, you sent me a lot of DMs. When will you be doing another video? Luca, will you make a video about this, what you're doing right now? And most of the times the answer is no, just because it takes a lot of time. But if you like this video format, so a lot of action instead of me talking like I'm doing right now, then let me know in the comments and I'll probably can do a bit more of those than me talking the entire time. But let me know in the comments if you want to see more videos and what engine would you swap into your Miata. See you guys in the next one. Bye.